and welcome to The Regulars. I'm Stacey McGonigal.
My name is Jason DeRoss.
Oh, yeah, killing it. Everyone, it is Wednesday. Don't mess with a princess. Jason DeRoss is here. Welcome, everyone. Hump Day.
Hump Day. It's one day after Patreon prom night.
We had a Patreon trash movie night last night. We watched Prom with the Meryl Streep, Nicole Kidman, Andrew Rannells, James Corden, Kerry Washington. Was it
Lots
Michael?
of people.
Yep. Anyways, what a terrible film. And I can't believe those talented people came together. I feel like craft services. I feel like lunchtime was a hard time on set.
It was a super team that failed.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
It was like all these great superheroes got together and then like some guy robbed a bank and won. You know what I mean?
Agreed. And I want to just thank everyone for watching it, for sticking it out. It was close to 9 hours in length. I had a few moments of happiness.
It did feel like the full story was told. And then we were like, oh, there's still an hour and a half left of this hour and 50-minute movie.
I didn't look at the time, and that's a lesson for me. Oh God, was it such absolute trash? Yeah, it made no sense. And anyways, Meryl Streep's makeup looked like if you go out for Halloween and then you fall asleep and then you wake up. It was just crunchy, too much. I mean, there was so much of it that I could talk about.
Yeah, if you go out as Halloween as a clown and then you wake up and go, oh.
I will tell you, there are a few photos of my Second City days where I fell asleep and someone took a photo of me in full makeup, and it was pretty much the same. A lot of wonky lashes. It was quite the time. But anyways, we have a lot of people in the chat also talking about getting their vaccine, which makes me so happy.
Cindy got her vaccine, first shot yesterday. Wants to know when the microchip kicks in.
That is amazing. Amanda says she got her first dose. It's kicking her butt. Did you get sick with yours?
The second one, I woke up with body soreness for literally 20 minutes and I was done. You know why? They say it affects younger people. So I was fine.
Oh, right. I was just going to say because you were short and it goes through your body pretty quick. Just one big lap around.
Here's the thing about me being short and you telling that it's not an insult. The tone is, but we had friends over. We got vaccinated at the same time, and then we had like our 2 weeks after we had them come over.
Yeah,
and they walked in the door.
Your circus night or whatever.
They looked like giants, and they said to me, "They're like, you look smaller than I remember." So like, it's like when you see people in real life again who you've been like, at. You know, you've just been seeing them at Zoom with no perspective of like height, and then we saw them again. I was like, you guys are massive. And then I saw our guest yesterday too, also giant.
Oh, we have an amazing guest today. And let me tell you, I don't need to see him to know he's way taller than you and that you are very small. So I don't need, I think the context is landing.
You'll see.
Yeah.
You'll see when we see each other in real life and you're like, holy fuck.
Finally, I'm right. I'm taller than you. You are very
small. We'll see. We're both 5'7", but inches are so big. So it's like, who knows? You know, we fall somewhere in that 5'7" range.
No, it's just really nice that you have some kind doctors that although your entire body is breaking, they're giving you a small win at an average height. And
this is what I'm saying. You say it's not an insult, but then you're like, you're smaller, which makes you lesser than. So
there's
like,
no insult. You found a short wife and you have a short son. Like, it's just, you found
my son is actually, here's the funny thing. He's in the 84th percentile height-wise. Okay.
There's no way.
Nice doctor. Same nice doctor, but like...
I was going to say...
But see, you say nice doctor because he's exaggerating his size, which makes tinier people lesser than in your mind.
Absolutely not.
I'm not putting this on you. I'm putting this on society because like you can go on TikTok and it'll be like, ladies will be like, yeah. Great. He's 5'6". Oh.
Yeah, but that's more a you thing than a me thing. Like
no, that's not a me thing.
Sure. So you go, oh, it's so hard. Some women go, oh, I don't want short men. You want to be a woman who looks like a burnt cigarette in personality, trying on a dating app. Tougher. Doesn't matter if you're 5'7", okay?
Don't mess with the princess.
Don't mess with the princess. But here we are for a massive pump up emotionally, financially. Princess Leia. Yeah. We love. But we have a real pump up because I know we've been going through some soft days. So this is actually the perfect guest to have with us because I feel like we're just going to have an internal, just like rev.
You want to feel great? You talk to this guest right here.
You talk to this guest right here. So without further ado, we know him. We love him. He is a dear MVP of the pod. It is guru to the stars. It is Mr. Adam Cawley, everybody. Well,
Perfect profile.
How are you two?
Amazing. You look great, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
I said that to him yesterday when we showed up. Remember that?
You did, but then you took it back immediately.
Yeah, I was like, maybe it's just the short shorts. Short shorts are pretty cool.
Were you wearing some short shorts?
Well, I was wearing long shorts, but I'm a big roller of shorts.
Oh, me too.
I like to roll them up.
Mm-hmm.
He also rolls sleeves. He rolls sleeves as well. Oh, yeah. There you go.
I'm a big roller.
See, look, I've got my little, like, who am I? What am I doing? Just doing a little roll.
Yes.
Listen, I was on set. Yeah. Oh,
I was killing myself laughing. That's why I'm glowing about your conversation. First of all, do you know who wrote Prom?
Yes, I do know who wrote Prom. I brought that up in the chat.
Who wrote Prom?
Did you?
Well, I found out when it popped up at the front. Bob Martin wrote Prom.
Wow.
And Bob Martin, for those people who are like, Bob Martin is a Second City alumni out of Toronto who wrote like The Drowsy Chaperone and like, I don't know. He's the one that hired me originally.
Let me tell you.
I love that
This
guy.
makes a lot of sense. Oh, a straight white man going, how do you think young lesbians would tackle prom? Young female lesbians. What would they incur?
Well, I tried to tackle that story many times, and I'm glad Bob cracked it.
Yeah, Bob cracked the code. And I love that they couldn't kiss until prom. And
there was a few things in this that were like, you've set up obstacles that could be easily solved in one movement right now, in 1 minute. And then they even did it sometimes. They're like, oh my God, I can't do this. Well, why don't you just do it? Here's a credit card. Okay, yeah, we did it. Fucking awesome.
Jan is asking if Prom is based on a true story. It could be. I did not do enough research, but like
because it was Bob Martin didn't write the screenplay. He wrote the play, right? And then it was turned into a screenplay, maybe by like Ryan Murphy.
Bro,
or did Ryan Murphy
just rich? That's kind of crazy to think that he's rich from like a Broadway show, because that was a big Broadway hit.
So was Drowsy Chaperone.
Because Bob Martin is from Toronto, or at least did Second City in Toronto. Mm-hmm. He was the star of this Drowsy Chaperone play that went up to Broadway. And then at the end of the Broadway show, it would be like, and as man in chair, Bob Martin. And he comes out and he's like, and the producers are like, that's not how you bow at Broadway. And he's like, it's a little embarrassing to just be like, hey, how are you? Like, no, you have to come out and be like, yes, I am a star. And he's like, wow, that's completely weird. I'm very used to, in Toronto, ending a show and being like, thanks for coming, guys.
Yeah.
Thanks for all my friends for showing up, you know?
Let me tell you, I had no problem really taking a bow. And I think about it sometimes when I want to get sad. I just think about the intensity of my bows, and it's quite embarrassing.
Are you a two-hander or a one hand down?
We are giving options quite simply and utterly. Have they asked for an encore? No. Are they getting another bow? Of course. And then as you leave the audience, like, goodbye, I know you'll miss me. Embarrassing.
I'm mostly talking to the person beside me as we bow. That's what I'm doing.
You guys getting pizza?
Yeah.
We're doing pizza?
You guys are sticking around after the show, right?
Okay. We're doing pizza, right? Okay.
Our musical director.
I love that Adam did have to look up. Are you guys getting pizza later?
Pizza? Pizza?
You guys are going to have to help me carry it, okay? Oh, Jan. Stacey wanted to open the show with a bow, of course. Let him know. And let them know. Let them know. Adam, so how is it going? How are you feeling? Do you have a new haircut? Is this a new style? What's going on?
This is over pandemic, because my hair is usually very short. I've really had to make adjustments week by week. And so this is what I could figure out with the amount of wax that
This
I
is
can
the
shove in
Madman.
my hair.
This is the Madman adjustment, is what this
Very
is.
much, and I love it.
Oh, thank
Great.
you. I have quite thick hair and it grows
Okay.
very fast.
Right.
And so it's very difficult to manage.
That's nice. That's
Yeah, you can grow a
really
beard.
nice
I
for
get
you.
it. Your hair, you can style it. It doesn't just, it's not thin and shitty.
When you're 6'2" and have thick hair, it's tough. You know what I mean? Just, no one wants
So
it.
annoying. You know, I'm actually really excited that you're here because it almost seems like fate, because my resistance bands from Amazon are about to be delivered and I am on the precipice of becoming a new woman with door hinges, I will say. Okay, spare no expense, $30. So are we keeping the body right and tight? Like, what are we doing?
I heard this on the pod on Monday, I believe you mentioned it. And that's what I brought to LA, which is kind of a system that has a bunch of resistance bands.
Yeah.
And you know what? Why it's so good is because it's good on the push and then good on the
pull.
The pull. Yeah. So I think that's
why
what,
they're
like,
called
Curves
resistance
was
bands.
based on.
Yes, Jason. Great
Yeah.
job.
The resistance bands.
Good on
You
the
guys
push
going into the
and
pub afterwards?
pull. Yeah, I'm really excited for my new life. Now, are you doing the door hinges with like the legs and the pulling?
Don't
and the
do the door
squatting?
hinges, man.
Why?
I don't do the door hinges. I'm a little nervous because of the fragility of the doors.
Yeah.
Like these, I'm worried
Can
that
I-
I'm going to get a door in the face.
Can I tell you a quick story? I used to live with Mr. Adam Cawley, and the house is like, it's an older sort of place or whatever. So like sometimes there's like space in between the door or whatever. So I had one of those door hinges things where you put the ball on the other side of the door, and then you go back and you're like, oh, I'm doing resistance stuff. I went like this, 15 feet from the door easily, and went, and it snapped out of the door and went and slingshotted me in the chest. And I think I broke ribs that day. It felt like I broke ribs, and I was upstairs, like out of breath, like, killed myself from those things. I'll never use them ever again.
My favorite thing from that story is you pulling on the resistance bands and going, oh, I'm doing resistance stuff. So that
I was doing
tracks for me.
P90X at the time. That's how long ago this was. And
there
it
it
was
is.
terrible.
There it is.
Stacey, what's your Peloton situation?
Well, thank you for asking. So I was going like super hard at it, and then I did a weight exercise with too heavy of weights. I just like really went into it and hurt my shoulder, but I'm back on it, and it's really quite wonderful. I feel like we talk about this. I feel like you need a Peloton.
I feel like I would really enjoy it.
I know.
Do they have the screen? Is it like
yeah.
where you can bike through like other
Australia?
countries, like that they have like done a cam for?
Oh,
yeah,
it's beautiful. It is beautiful.
Where do you go?
You can go anywhere. So like I've gone to France, and you can just like put on your own like playlist, and I will collect when you're riding. If you're doing different rides, you can collect music you like, and Spotify puts it in your own playlist, and then you can like organize from there. So sometimes I'll put on a podcast and just be like, do a light hour because I'm just listening and going through the countryside. You can also crack the Peloton and go to YouTube and watch something full too. Yeah.
You've hijacked your own Peloton?
Yeah, I figured out how to hijack it, but I love to do this, like the scenic rides. They're really quite something.
I'd be fully into that.
Yeah, it's great.
I want to like ride down Mount Everest. Do you know what I mean?
Oh my God. You know what? The idea that someone would be a Peloton cameraman having to climb Mount Everest so that annoying people like myself could experience it. I also love that Jason's like, I'd like to go downhill.
That's it. I'm like, whoa. Then I would just stand on the pedals the whole time. I wouldn't even have to be pedaling. I'd be like, ooh. Not even pedaling one bit, just being like cruising. Oh, downhill.
Now, are you gonna start biking together in Los Angeles now that you're both there? going on long
Hell
bike
yeah.
rides?
I think so. I'm using the city bikes, which are like the Bixies in
Oh,
Toronto.
rideshare, yeah.
I'll probably buy a bike, but I had so many bikes in Toronto that were stolen that I really got into the city bikes because you can bike one way and then park it, and then you don't have to think about it, especially in LA where you're like,
Right.
I don't know, where it's going to get stolen. So yeah, I'm down.
Ooh, look at that, Jay. Now you have like a little pal.
Oh yeah, this isn't the first of hearing of this. We're doing
Oh.
this for sure. Where this is fucking happening. And we're gonna we'll just like get our screens on the front of our bike and we'll ride around LA, but we'll put that we're riding around Paris and we'll just ride around watching a video.
It is really nice. I will tell you, the saddest thing about having a Peloton is like I cannot share it with people. Like I want people to like, be like, hey, bring your riding shoes. Like who has those? But I'd be like, please, just experience. It's just like my little secret, It's sad.
Peloton owes you money. This is advertisement after advertisement for these people.
Well, here's the thing. When I was trying to get a free Peloton, I mentioned them countless times. I really pulled an Adam Cawley here. Like I reached out to them countless times and I never even got like a heart or a like back from truly any mention.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but when I was really like fresh, I guess during college, I was taking Second City classes, but to pay for the classes, I would work at the training center as like signing people up.
I did that too. Yeah.
And I was very, I didn't have money at the time, so every dollar counted. Mm-hmm. And I had a little snack of jubes at the desk, and there was like a big pack, and I love jubes, and I was like, it said right on the thing, it's like comments, questions. And I was like, I've got time. I'm going to write to this jube company and compliment their jubes so much that maybe they'll send me some free jubes. And they didn't.
I'm not the only one here, right? Like Adam's adding a B to jubes, right? Like that's happening.
No, my mom calls them that too.
Wait, they are jubes.
It's J-U and then jubes. It's jubes.
I hate it. I hate it both ways.
Although you've said it more than you need to in the sentences, and I love it. I'm fucking here for it.
No, this is a jube positive podcast.
Jube.
Mandela
I don't
effect.
even know what to say. They're fuck. Well, jubes.
I'll look it up. I'll see. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah.
They didn't. They wrote back, just thanking me for my nice words.
They didn't give you.
They didn't
anything?
say nothing, but they were like, "Thank you, Adam, so much for your positive words about our product." And I can't believe that person who wrote back and didn't offer anything. Like, what kind of person compliments the jubes?
Because you want something for free. Like, I just watched Fake Famous. Have you watched this?
Oh, not yet.
Okay. So basically they take 3 actors, okay? And there's nothing sadder than the top portion of this documentary because it's just a massive casting call and them asking like, how many social media followers do you have? Like they were just trying to find like 3 people that were kind of blank slates that they could make famous. And anyways, they chose 3 people and 2 of the guys backed out and one girl was like, I'll just do whatever. So the other ones had like ethical quandaries and so they were just buying her followers, buying her engagement. And she finally gets to a point where people are reaching out to her, but how she started was reaching out to companies, which I didn't realize influencers do. I thought people reached out to them. No. It is the Adam Cawley trick of like, hey, I love those earrings. Send me some and I'll take
Let
a
me
picture.
talk to your manager. Yeah.
Exactly. So you're
I'm
still
surprised.
an empire.
I am surprised that Adam Cawley did not end up getting free stuff because there was no like reach back out and be like, oh, thanks you for reaching out. Can I talk to your manager then, please? There was none of that in Adam's. Because when this conversation right here started, I thought when Stacey was talking about her Peloton and got not even like a like from them, I was like, Adam's just going to tell her they got a straight up free Peloton and just turned it down because for sure Adam was like, let me just talk to your manager. We'll figure this out. No problem.
Yeah, I mean, my God, what I would have given for a free Peloton. I know they were giving them out. I didn't, I wasn't at that level of fame. Yeah.
And there's also Peloton treadmills and other Peloton stuff, right?
There's a Peloton treadmill, which looks massive. Like treadmills already are very big, but this one looks.
You've got to make it a centerpiece in most people's apartments.
Yeah, like
it's like the grand piano.
It is
where like people have this grand piano. It's like, do you play? No.
Of course not.
I will one day.
A treadmill. Treadmills are boring to me. Running is boring to me. I wish I liked it because I could just go outside and do it. That's why I like the Peloton. But yeah, they've got the bike, they've got the tread, and they have apparel. Now here's an Adam Cawley issue. So someone got my Peloton code, which I gave out, bought a Peloton. So when a friend buys a Peloton and uses your code, you get $125. They get $125 for the apparel shop. Now, Kel knows Surprise. Peloton is not always the most size inclusive with their apparel. So I was like waiting and waiting for an item to be in my size. And they have a limit to 6 months before you can use the thing. So I went over 6 months and they're like, no, you've lost your credit. I said, I don't think so. So then I was like, well, the sizes weren't available. Like I can only work with what I can work with. I wasn't just going to use the money on something I didn't like. And they're like, there's nothing we can do. Our hands are tied. I have to speak to the manager. Okay.
Yeah, I'm in. I'm loving this so far.
Based on the who, what, where. And they were like, and they said, there's nothing we can do. Then I went on Reddit and people were like, oh, I got my credit back. And so I screenshotted the Reddit, sent it to the manager, and they were like, still, they just refused. And I had to give up.
Well, the Reddit thing could be like you just went on under another user handle and was like, I got my money back. What is it? And then you screenshot that and be like, this person got their money back. And it's like completely false because you just made it up.
That is true. But I lost. I really didn't win.
Yeah,
Stacey, that loss has nothing to do with you. You did everything.
I could have gotten a heart rate monitor. You know what I mean?
But I mean, the effort and the persistence that you had makes me very proud.
Thank you so much. I'm not doing this.
We're also missing a lot of hot goss in the chat of like people are really figuring out jujubes. Maybe that's what they're called or whatever. But also Jen wrote the Peloton treadmills were recalled because they suck babies and pets into their mechanism.
That's obviously a joke. Right,
I
Jen?
don't know if it is. It's like they've got these turning things, but maybe the size is off or something. So it's literally like, God, they're getting hands caught in there or something. I believe that could happen.
Pretty crazy. Yeah, I do yell at the dogs when sometimes they're like, what is she grunting over there doing? And I'm like, stay away, stay away.
Don't look at me.
I'm in Paris.
I'm in Paris. Why am I so winded in Paris?
The funny thing is you'll find out later, it's like, oh, I didn't have it set to Paris. It was just Northern Ontario. Oh, yeah, shit.
Yeah.
I guess I could have just gone and rode a bike in Northern Ontario.
You know how you're in Paris and there's just so many legions?
Yes, a city street in Northern Ontario.
Oh my God, no.
Oh, the LCBO.
Guys, that's not a joke. It is true.
Yeah, I assume so, yeah.
Babies are getting... That is tragic.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
except,
yeah.
Like, what happens when you email them and go, my baby got sucked in? Oh, yeah, sorry to hear about that.
Can I get my credit back?
No free Peloton?
Our hands are tied. And our hands are tied.
Our hands are tied in our mechanisms. They got sucked in to the mechanism.
Jesus Christ. This further justifies my hatred of running. Okay? We all need to stop. I have to say. Adam, like, besides the resistance bands, like, what is your go-to workout? Like, what are you doing? What are you watching? Who are you inspired by?
What am I watching? Nothing watching, but definitely biking. And biking in LA, I found a nice path with bike lanes, which is great. Then I've got just kind of like resistance bands. I'm looking at, the big thing is that lacrosse ball. That really lay down on a lacrosse ball and really loosen up the old back. Yeah. Foam roller is great. You put your legs up against the wall and then a foam roller under your head and really let those hammies chill. Yep. Bosu balls, that kind of stuff. Anything I can do in a room. because like I
There's a
haven't
lot
been
of
to,
laying
to a
about.
gym.
Your exercise sounds like a lot of laying on things.
But it
It's
does
quite a
help.
bit of laying.
I've been
I
doing
know I did it
this-
last night. I have a lacrosse ball. It really
Oh, that's good.
worked out.
Well, I feel like half of it is posture, right? Like I have this, I've been trying this new thing where like I just take a yoga mat because I don't have a roller, but like with a towel in it. So it's like got the structure and I just put it on my lower back and like with my arms like this, I just lay for 5 minutes and it is correcting my posture, which is atrocious.
Are you guys also in these? Are you getting these ads that are like fix your posture and they put like that band on your shoulders and you just have to walk around all day like this? They're just like tighten it up. It's like a fucking girdle for your upper back.
Yeah, it just holds you like this. It's super painful.
I bet. I'm like, yeah. I don't want to show up to the office one day and be like, hey guys, and they're like, what are you doing? I'm just correcting my posture. You'd forever be remembered as that guy. Like that's your MO now.
The thing that's wild is like in theater school, instead of saying like you need better posture or like you're probably really tight in your chest or your back, they were like, where are you holding the emotions? So for me, they're like, Stacey, you hold a lot of emotions in your shoulders.
Mine's in my finger. Mine's right here in this finger. It's right on the tip of that one.
So it wasn't until I was in my later 20s that I was like, oh, it's not emotions. It's just like I'm naturally super tight in my shoulders. I need to go to a chiropractor or get a massage.
But then you do see people with too good of posture and it looks
Creeps.
a little
Oh, for
like
sure.
it's a little far back, like they're
that's a serial
leaning back
killer
as
look.
they walk.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
And when they walk into a room, you're like, you are for sure eyeing the people in here that are your victims. Like that's you're a serial killer, 100%.
I just watched American Psycho, so I absolutely understand.
Good
that.
posture.
Crazy posture. You've obviously both seen that.
I have not seen that movie.
Wait, Christian Bale?
Yeah.
Yeah, filmed in Toronto.
Really?
Oh, in Casa Loma. Okay.
You know those office towers at King and Bay on the southwest side? They're 4 black towers where you can see the CN Tower right through it.
Yep.
Oh, yes.
Anyway,
yes, yeah.
Those are his office towers. So every
TV tower.
establishing shot is there.
I believe.
That is unreal. No, just because I was just like, of course, Toronto. I mean, you see so many, but that movie is crazy good. But
the idea of a card and all of the issues with the business card, it was just one of those things where we're obviously past the importance of them socially, but it seemed like I could really get into the headspace of card envy. And people with like brand new cards and, you know.
Now it's like QR codes. That's what people pass around.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So people again, in Fake Famous, they'll put their, like on a pop socket or whatever, their QR code. So if someone's like, if they're at a party, they're like, follow me. And you just scan the QR code and then it takes you to all the things.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
They're easy to make. They're really easy to make.
I feel like you have to have really severe posture and the QR code for it to really sink in. Follow me.
Follow me.
Follow me. Follow me, you guys. Oh, 2 hands. It's pretty heavy. Jen in the chat is saying, I went to school with a girl whose good posture was her only personality. Oh, I can see her vividly in my mind.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like water people.
But guys,
which
I
I've turned
literally,
into.
I mean, I ran the student council. I took up Tai Chi for a while and was doing it in the middle of school assemblies just so you would think there was something. It doesn't matter. We only see your posture. That's it. That's all you
Or
are
she's
to
like,
us.
Jason, actually, like, it's like, oh, hey, Lisa, you look really good today. It's my posture. And honestly, you guys, it's really not that hard. It's just a couple of days of focus and training. So if you want it, you just got to work for it.
Cool.
Oh my God, I think she's wearing one of those bands. Takes it off and then she's nobody anymore. Oh
She just
no.
collapses in on herself.
Yeah. I wish I was one of those people. Like, I find myself getting a lot of coffee ads and like YouTube is recommending me like a lot of espresso bar setups. Like, hey, my name's Trevor and come see my coffee setup. And I'm like, I don't even care. But
okay.
yeah, like I feel like the Gen Zs on TikTok, like a big personality trait is coffee, iced coffee at that. They're drinking like gallon mason jars of iced coffee.
Whoa. I'm getting my big ad for some reason is like natural but aggressively dude soap.
Oh my God, I've been seeing that. The YouTube guy who's like, hey, your soap, is it even cleaning you? That ad?
Yeah. Well, I don't know, but he's like, hey, your soap is shit.
Yeah.
If you ever use regular soap, it's shit. Throw it out. Use this soap. It makes you smell good. And I've never thought about soap that much. Never bought soap online. I don't know why it's being targeted to me.
But there is 100 high school boys out there buying that soap right now, easily.
But it's interesting to me how our targeted ads are finding us. So like me on Instagram, on my explore page, it's all people getting married, women pregnant. And I'm like, there's no search. Like, I'm not perpetuating the trend. Been there, did it.
I'm gonna look up some pregnant women for a sec.
Yeah, like I've never been like delivery bag, what to expect, like nothing. But the world is saying, Stacey, this is for you: espresso, engagements, and pregnancy. Now you're getting soap from aggressive men. You know, it's interesting how it finds you.
I'm finding my targeted ads are picking up pace of like how quickly they change over now. It's like literally one day to the next, they're very different. And it's like we're moving now. And so, you know, you go look at one mover, you look at one mover and we call them, all my targeted ads the next day are for movers. They're just like, here you go, move. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, it's day after day now. Like I could say the word milk and then it's going to be dairy commercials. And I don't know.
Well, I think you'd have to actually say it right to get your phone to give you it, but
just a blank targeted ad with a question mark. Milk?
What are you looking for? Jujubes? You looking for jujubes here?
Jan says her Instagram ads are for a skirt with a Jurassic Park print, and she's never felt more seen. And she's asking if she should get it, and I say yes. I say yes to
yes.
100. Absolutely. You know what? You'll have Charlie's attention immediately. So there you go.
Well, there you have it, Jan.
Fucking nobody cares. Wonderful.
How does it feel to be a dad and like drop like that your son might be interested in what we're talking about, and everyone goes, cool.
Yeah.
No, I'm asking.
Yes, that sounded like not a rhetorical question.
No. Like if I go out with friends who have kids, they're like, you know who'd love this? Tyler. You're like, oh, you should call him. You should tell him that he'd really enjoy this.
Well, I'm stuck. I'm 24 hours a day, like talking about Avengers or Jurassic Park. So it's like, you know, I can't escape that either. So you're just kind of stuck with it.
But those are great topics to have.
It is very fun too. Like if I ever get to hang out with Charlie, you're like, I want to connect so bad. And then you find a joke. Like we went on a hike a while ago and Charlie was climbing up some like sand dune and fell and got his stomach like pretty scratched up and was very upset.
It's still there. The cat's still there.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I was like, what do I do? I think, okay, Charlie, hey, look, I'm gonna beat up this sand for you and start punching the sand dune. And
you had to crack the wall a bit to get there too.
Yeah. And then I'm beating it up and I'm like, Charlie's laughing. Okay, cool. The nice thing about this is that this joke can last like a year.
Oh yeah.
Like the idea that the kids are like, that one joke, I'd like to do that same joke again all the time, every day. That's gotta feel good.
Oh yes. You must.
It's very fun. We have another friend who followed that similar pattern, but his joke wasn't punch the sand. His joke was, oh my God, you like the Transformers? Let's go on a mission. We have to cure Crohn's disease. And now he just brings up Crohn's disees whenever he talks to Charlie. And
well, that's an interesting involvement into the joke.
He really wanted Charlie to go to school and be like, oh my God, guys, we got to get together. Everybody huddle up. We got to go cure Crohn's disease. He really wanted that to be.
Does your friend suffer from Crohn's disease? Does he need it more in the ether?
Maybe he's actually looking to get help. Maybe, I have no idea.
You're going to get a bunch of phone calls from parents being like, please don't have my son play cure diseases.
Oh, you don't want diseases cured? You don't want your diseases cured?
There's nothing sadder to me than a child that doesn't think that I'm funny, and it will that stings more than an audience of people that are not having a good time. And I catch myself getting so desperate for their laugh, I will literally do anything.
I love the idea, Stacey. I could very much see, okay, I see you didn't laugh at that. Let me explain to you why that was a good joke. Maybe next time you'll understand and laugh, because that's what you do with people who tell jokes.
Really this funny. Is funny? This idiot on YouTube wearing an orange hat, Blippy, this is funny? Oh, I don't think you know comedy, kid.
No.
You laugh at that?
I feel like I am actually a naturally big hit with kids because I dress loudly and I usually have large glasses and I'm already animated like a wiggle. You know, I'm already like,
so you're
I'm
a cartoon
late,
character.
I'm sorry. Yeah. And I wear bright colors. And so a lot of kids are maybe not into it, but they're certainly staring in a way of I can't figure this out.
You're a good person to impress because you have a great laugh. And so for kids to be like, I made like Aunt Stacey laugh or whatever, and like the laugh you give is quite gregarious that it's like, ooh, I want to get more of that. You're
being very kind, as it is a witch's cackle. And and the thing I love about kids is I will laugh at my own joke if they're also laughing. I'm like, it was great. It was undeniable.
Yeah.
But a baby crying at me, oof, oof. Hard in the heart, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. But again, I'm just like, I feel like my thing with, like, I have an 8-year-old nephew now, and he is like less impressed with my life. So I just have to remind him that I have more money than him. I could go to a movie at the drop of a hat. Not much more. Not much more at this point.
They increase his allowance and he's going to catch you by the time he's 10, and then he's going to be like, what were you saying there? What were you saying?
But the hardest thing for me is when I call him, he's like, what do you want? I go, what do you mean, what do I want? He's like, I'm just playing a game right now. Hello. Like he's
Oh my God.
How's work?
How's work, I guess.
Are you pretending still for money? Yes, I'm pretending for money. Do you have any money? What's coming in?
Yeah, I didn't realize Camden's already 8 years old. So like,
I know
you've only got a few years left before he's a teenager and just completely writes you off.
Well, yeah, it's hard. It's hard. And like, I am not like, we were not raised in a family of like, let's take a moment, let's process this. So like, as he's getting older and dealing with things like getting bullied or being made fun of, my parents are like, not much like we were. We were like, hey, Katie made fun of me. And they're like, you go tell Katie that her parents are divorced and her being mean to you won't bring them back together. And I'm like, won't bring them back together. Noted.
This explains so much now. That explains, that's your, because then I'm like, great, now I know when we're improvising, it's like, oh, this was given to you at a very early age. I gotcha. Great.
Well, before every improv set, my mom's like, who are you performing with? And I'm like, Adam and Jason. She's like, perfect. Okay, so Adam ruin them. But do you have advice for Charlie when he's like being bullied, like to be understanding or to have a conversation? Or are you like,
well, it's all different each and every time. It's hard to be a parent with no, because there's no like, you got to figure out what's right and what's wrong. And it's just kind of weird of like how deep you go and how complex you go with some of the ideas about things, because you're like, you are 5. So how do we explain? I'm trying to remember a specific example because I know one's happened very recently where it was like, well, how much do we go into this? Because we have to really talk about a lot of social issues and things like that for you to fully understand. But it's a very complex idea. So it's like, just be good to other people, have empathy, that kind of stuff. And you're like, I don't know how much to go into it, but you try to balance it out. We were pretty honest with him, to be quite honest. He hangs out with just adults. It's been a year of pandemic. So he is like, he's a mini adult already, but he's a mini adult version of this. So it's also a little fucked up too. So, that's okay. Well, you asked. And now I'm like,
no, mini fucked up. You're mini fucked up. It's not full fucked. It's just a little. It's just a little. What were your parents like, Adam, when you were like getting bullied? Were you like an understanding kid when you were getting bullied, or were you like, I'm gonna fight till the death?
I think I don't remember getting, because my parents were divorced, so I did have like 2 perspectives.
Right.
And there was very much my mom being very much like, well, let's talk through the emotions of
Right.
this. Let's figure this out. And my dad
Your
was
dad's
just
more
like, nah,
Peaky
forget it.
Blinders.
My dad was very much like that too, because he was like a construction worker. So he's like, just tell him to fuck off. And I was like, I'm 6. I'll get grounded.
Well, I think the Stacey thing is your nephew's name Camden.
Yeah.
I think what the why you might be extra valuable coming up is as Camden gets older and gets on social media, it's like, oh, you're an aunt who understands this world. Like you've been through the social media stuff. And have you ever tried to talk to like a parent or someone about social media and like a struggle with it? They're like, well, why don't you just post that you don't like that? Okay.
Yeah, it's like you can't. If someone calls it the YouTubes,
Who's
I already know where we're
Elfdick99?
at.
I'll talk to Elfdick99. Give me his mother's phone number. I'll talk to Elfdick99.
Well, yeah. I mean, like, I'm really lucky that my parents are not on social media. Like, they can't. I think my whole family, like,
I think your dad's Snake King, to be honest.
Yeah, my dad might be Snake King. Although my dad watched this show once, and I guess Jason and I were going off and swearing, and my nephew was like, "We had to turn it off. You guys were like swearing, like that was it. Like there was no normal words." I was like, there were some normal words.
I know the clip he's talking about, and we put it up and bleeped every single word you said.
Yeah. Maybe I kids on social media is really scary to me. I feel like all of us would have been dead. I feel like we all would have been just like emotionally spent. Like, can you imagine if I was allowed to blog? I blogged as an adult at 14.
Whoa. It's so funny because like it's the same concept, but like I loved receiving notes in school, and like girls loved writing these like long notes. Like if you were like kind of talking or dating, and then they'd fold it into like a square, and like you could open it up, and then I saved all of them. So I have a huge drawer full of all of my high school notes.
I've
They're
got
not
them.
all love, but like there's sometimes just like the weekend plans, or like, were you at that party, or just stuff that like I could imagine. Yeah, I'm really happy that I saved them all. And they're all like handwritten, and you have to unfold all of them. It was great. It just felt like social media, if it was a bit more personal and pointed at like, this is for you. I'm putting this out there for you, not for everybody.
All right, so let's put them on the net.
Sweet.
Let's go.
Yeah,
let's put them out there for everyone.
I never got any love notes. Like I would send them to my friends, but man, what I would give to still have those notes. I'd put them up in my house.
I've got them because I had we're moving, so I pulled this bag out today. I was like, oh my god, I still have these things. Maybe I'll go through them at one point. Take a look. You gotta use them. Like I love cards so much. I got into them, I think around like the Second City time where you give them or whatever. And so I have so many framed in my house. And if I'm ever changing the frames, I like read the cards. It's just like such a lovely, like I love cards. So I would rather that than like if someone's like, happy birthday, I bought you a speaker. It's like, instead of, do you know what I mean? Like just, oh, Spotify Premium, we love. I would much rather just have a card with like, a loving note in it, And
isn't it so nice that like I know Jason's writing.
Yes.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like that's something that you just like, there's so many people in my life. It's like, I have no idea what your writing looks like, but if I have a note or a card from Jason, like a birthday card, it's like, I know exactly who this is the moment you see it. And it's just an extra little personal moment,
It's so true. I remember.
I feel seen.
You feel, well, I gave a card to a friend we know after a show, and she had directed the show. And I clearly was way too vulnerable in the card. So like it was like happy opening, gave her the card. And I was like, this is a card. This is where you say nice things that are true. And then she gave me her card, and it was just like, great work. Like literally 3 words. And then I was like, oh no, she's going to open that and she's going to have to address it's just completely unfair. And she did have to send me an email afterwards. It was like, I read the note. Very kind words. It was like simply too much in the card.
I love that the email is kind of like her original card. I saw the card. You killed it.
You killed it. Yeah. Keep on trucking. And you're like, okay. Yeah.
Do you guys ever have that too with like a partner where it's like you don't talk about it first? Like say holiday rolls around where you're like a Christmas and you're like, oh, we got to get each other gifts. But then there's a definite like uneven balance to it afterwards or whatever. And you're like, how do I address this? I remember one time that had to happen with someone I was dating, and I wrapped and put extra presents in the trunk of the car just to be like, if I have to go get these, no problem.
That's a very Adam Cawley mom situation. I've never forgotten about the Brita filter upstairs. I've never forgotten about that. Or the Brita.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Just in case I have to give a gift.
Next time I'm home, I got to take a picture of the guest bed because it's just all like lotto tickets and Brita filters, a new pan, and just at any moment, just gonna use the restroom.
And go. Oops. I think that's such a smart idea because how I often, when we were out and about, you'd be like, oh, I need the thing. I need to give them something, a speaker, you know? Yeah. I struggle with gifts like that from a loved one. I don't know, like, again, like if anyone gives me any gift, I'm like, you shouldn't have, it's way too expensive. Like, just don't. But I also struggle when someone is like, here's a speaker for your birthday. Like, I'd rather like an inside joke or like something handmade that's funny, meaningful, than anything that is expensive. But maybe that, I don't know what that says about me.
No, I think it's like what my partner and I do is for birthdays, for Christmas, we don't give each other gifts, but we do something together that we would have spent on each other. And it's just like, just do the experience, do the thing. And
sick.
It's less pressure. You're on it together. You're planning it together. So it's not like, I hope I don't, screw this up.
No, totally. Oh, and by the way, happy engagement, you two. I know it's been a while since I've seen, but like Adam is now an engaged man and very engaged, and my fiance. Congratulations.
It was a very emotional experience being from a divorced family, but it's great. It was like a jump moment, and then after jumping, me like, oh no, this is great. This is the right thing.
I'm really excited for you too. I think it's great, and I think you work so well together. You're highly communicative, and I feel like it's just so great. It's so lovely to see two lovely people get together.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. Are you going to have like a huge blowout, like a?
Well, it's been ever changing. Like we were going to do a city hall. Get that done in March, but then like literally we have the paper, we got it from City Hall. We just had to get like an officiant. Yeah. But then the number of people you could have even outdoors kept changing, and we were like, well, we want at least our immediate family, but that was like over 10 people. And I was like, well, we can't do this. So we kept delaying. So we're hoping something in end of summer, early fall. Something like that. But again, just waiting week by week, but definitely looking at alternative options to a classic like hall wedding or something,
Well,
we got a surprise for you today, Adam. Your fiance, Danny, is definitely not. But Danny I told Adam before the pod, she was just working out with my wife. Didn't even realize on Instagram.
Oh, what were they doing? A little
workout together. Little Zoom together, a little Zoom workout. Or no, a little cute Instagram workout, just watching the same thing.
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, she's just the best. I feel like you're both just so, you're so perfect for each other.
Oh, that's so nice. Yeah.
I get obsessed with that. Like when some friends get together and you're like, yeah. You don't have to say that for you two.
Oh, that's so nice.
Yeah. When you're both equally great and cool and you love each other, and it's great. And also, if you're looking for something small, Jenny Cirillo. Or big.
Call me. I love it.
Yeah, I love the idea. Like I did both. I did City Hall and then had like a bigger shenanigan. And
what was the time difference, or like how did you plan that out? Oh, really?
We were in the States, yeah. So we decided to just get married at City Hall in LA. And then later on, we had the full to-do. But like the city hall was like so beautiful and precious and like so between us, and like I wore like a little white Target dress, and
nice.
it was really special. And before, I think I was like a wedding like prude, where I was like, we want to see you get married. Like some people go nuts where they're like, it's as if it's their day, you know? And now I'm just like, you got to do whatever you want, you know? When like Aunt Lisa's upset because she didn't get invited, it's like, we don't even know you. Just go, you know?
Yeah, Danny's been looking at a lot of like alternative venues, especially pandemic wise, of like maybe we do something, but then just have a little party afterward. No one comes to the ceremony. You just hang out afterwards. Have you ever been to a place, Stacey, called Coffee and Clothing?
No, but I love
So
this.
it's right across the street from Gerrard Square.
Ooh.
And it's a vintage / coffee shop. And then they have a beautiful back patio. And we're like, oh, like something like that. Like they host events like that. And it's like, oh, something like that seems great. An outdoor space, small group of people, like great.
It's the best. And like our friend got married and had like, it wasn't a sit down dinner. It was tons of like little like bite-sized delicious food. And everyone just like kind of walked around. And I was like, this is the best wedding ever. There's no like sit down, whatever. So I'm all for like a small backyard shenanigan.
Yeah.
Very chic. Oh, I can see it. I can see it. Well, keep us posted. We're so freaking happy for you too.
We'll live stream from your wedding. So yeah, whenever you want us to do that, let us know.
And all the cards that you will get, and the messages you will get in them, and the weird
Keep at
gifts. Yep.
You rock. Okay.
We got an erotica book that was used, and it was like Canadian erotica. So it was like, he was railing me in a truck in Edmonton. And you're like, holy shit.
Did Glenn McCauley give you that? Because I feel like that would be a Glenn McCauley gift.
No, it was from a family member, and it was like, it was some things were highlighted and underlined. It was a used book.
Oh my God.
Thanks,
he was
Mom.
railing me
Trust
in
me.
a truck in Edmonton. And then Stacey rode by on her Peloton saying it was Paris.
It was truly, I'm upset I still don't have the book, but like it really was worded like it was just like raw, rough erotica that was Canadian based.
We were at a bush party. He downed 24 of his fucking whole fucking things. His toque was fucking sick.
He grabbed my ass like he meant it. Yeah.
Right after he grabbed my friend's ass. He literally jumped through the fire for me. Jumped right through the big campfire.
I'll never forget my first bush party in high school where I wore kitten heels and they were covered in mud. I had like my little flip phone and I was just like trying to like light it like the way. Yeah. Always a romantic, you know, always dressed up.
Meanwhile, Brady's tossing a football at your head by accident. Sorry.
Wait, the cool guy's name is Braze?
Brady.
Brady. Okay. Yeah. I don't think I'll end up with a Brady. I don't think, I just don't think we'd have much to talk about.
No.
You know?
Probably not.
Probably not. So Adam, what are your plans for 2021?
I don't know. I think for me, I think everything has shrunk in a way of like what I'm valuing, what I'm concerned about has really shrunk. And I think as things open up or as we're allowed to do whatever, the people and the things that I'm concerned about, I think are going to be more focused. So it just feels like the things I'm concerned about that I used to be like, oh, well, like I want to make sure that I do this thing with that person. And I'm like, but I don't really talk to that person, or I don't really, that person doesn't make me feel good or whatever. But it's like, I've got my core, maybe focus on the core or focus on my family that I haven't been able to see. And just, I think really enjoy the tight knit things that I think have got away, especially as performers and people like doing random jobs. We tend to maybe overexert ourselves and how many people we're impressing or connecting with. And I think that's the goal, I think, is really focus on the tight peeps.
That's such a great point, because I feel the same. It's like our worlds have shrunk, and then it's like now that it's, there's glimmers of hope of it opening, more so where you're both at, but you're just like, oh, what does the new thing look like? Because it's like I had these goals and these plans that were a lot bigger, and now because my goal and idea of success is much different, it's like, oh, I sort of am like not sure as well, where you're like, what does that look like now? It seems so foreign.
And the things that you feel like you've missed, or at least the things I've missed, where I'm like, oh, that's so simple to achieve, I just didn't put the same value on it before.
100%.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, I really miss like watching a hockey game with my dad. And I'm like, I haven't been able to do that for, a year and a half. And it's like, that would bring me a lot of joy. And I never would have put that much focus on it because it was always available.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so
100%.
Now going forward, it's like, what are the things that were always available, but I never maybe put as much effort into because I thought it'll always be there. And now it's like, oh, it may not. Let's really focus in on the things that are, family, close friends, that kind of stuff.
Totally.
And the important thing, I think, when it comes back is like to remember that some way or somehow, because I feel like there's even moments like, for example, we were doing that show once a week and then going to our local hangout afterwards. And it was just like, great, we're on autopilot for that. Instead of like, you're right, we're probably taking that for granted, because what I wouldn't give to like be on a patio with a couple friends and just be like, oh shit, like let's not take these tiny moments for granted, like it's just an everyday thing. Because once we get back, are we going to get thrown back on autopilot? And then when I go to a patio, I'm going to be like, oh, cool. I guess I could go. It's a patio. I guess I'll show up. It's like, no, start to like really focus and cherish a few of the things and start to be in the present with those things a bit more too.
I also think though, it's like, I think a lot of people have been forced to be by themselves or to be reflective. And I think it's like, I feel like me personally was like, well, you should be out, you should go out. But it's like, man, like, do I love like you going home, you taking care of yourself? Nothing is different. Nothing, like we talked about before. You can leave the party early and it's fine. It's the same. The same thing will happen. So I think it's like, it's finding that balance. And yeah.
Oh, I was just using boredom as like,
Jason's like, get out! You're gonna die soon.
Yeah, no, but I was using that as an example, but similarly to what Colleen was saying, even just if it's like, oh, you're watching a hockey game with a family member and like in love with that, it's just like, are we going to get back to like, I don't know, the next season? You're like, oh, my dad wants me to come over and watch a hockally game, but like I'm
of course
on the Peloton going through Paris, so like maybe I'll just stay here. Like you just realize what you actually, just remember what it is you think you are cherishing in these moments, to be like, I really miss these important things or whatever. Do you know?
I think that.
What about you, Stacey?
My plans?
Yeah.
Oh my God. I don't even know. So, I'm a businesswoman without a business. So,
I love that.
I truly am a businesswoman without a business. And so I'm in a very reflective point in my life where I want change. I yearn for change. I want something different, but I currently am unaware of the resources available to me. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not quite sure what the next step is. And so thus everything is so foggy, where it's like, there's always a way through it, but I haven't figured it out. So it's like a lot of like, just like, those sounds around the house. You're like cutting cheese and you're like, you're just like, I don't know. I feel like I'm sort of exhausted by the rat race of it all. Like, I am such a go-getter instinctually that I would love to be self-sufficient, but like in what way and how and all that kind of stuff. So the who, what, where is unclear, but I certainly feel like we all feel completely different, I'm sure, but I just can't imagine going back to doing and living how I was.
It's 10:30 show?
Never. Wait, for who?
What?
No.
Bonkers. Yeah. Sorry, Jay.
How much you getting paid? Nothing. Okay, great.
Nothing.
Just gonna go do this show.
Gonna lose about $20.
I'm gonna lose minimum 20. Yeah.
But it's funny that you say that too about like the open side, just when it's like in the middle of the day for not for anything you're doing, just slicing cheese for your sandwich or something. Because I do that, but I have my wife, and every once in a while she'll be like, what happened? And I'm like, I don't know, the pandemic. Like, I don't know, just fucking sigh in the middle of the day. But then I realized, oh, that was audible. Oh God.
Oh, I know it's audible. And if someone's like, are you okay? I'm like, okay, boundary crossed. I don't know why I'm sighing. It's coming out of me.
Exactly. But then I feel like I'd have to explain it. I'm like, I don't know. Like, can I just sigh even? Like, that's where I'm at.
No one can ever just sigh.
You just got to alternate the ending. You just go, hi.
It's so
I
true.
think I'm making some life changes real soon. I'm going to be talking about it.
Right before you call the CRA, you're like, hi, nice to meet you. Rebecca, that's fun. So, I won't be paying, right, currently? Yeah, I really, Jan says, I tell Sheldon sometimes it's nice to sigh.
Yeah.
You know what? It feels like I think a lot of us either went to theater school or had some kind of training, but they're all like, let out the breath, and I'm rolling my eyes. But now I'm like, oh no, that feels good. It feels really good to do it.
It feels amazing because it's like we're all sitting with just so much, like, I was going to say insecurity, but it's not that, but it's like unaware, like of what's ahead or how we're doing or what's going on. It's like, you got to let the breath out. You got to let it out. The unknown is so terrifying now,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was following a couple of the chats all talking about the size and letting them out. And then it just hit with Haley. Come to Austin for drag brunch. They wear a full transparent welding mask. It's amazing. I was like, a little out of nowhere, but super fun.
Listen, we love that idea.
I'm sure it was
Love
a proper response,
brunch.
but
yeah. Yeah, but I think my goal is just to be rich, and you're just sitting on piles of cash, for what, for who, for where, we're not sure. But I look forward to that, maybe in 2022.
Yeah,
well,
it was funny. We're
primed.
Sorry, Adam.
No, I was going to say, Stacey, you're always primed for the next thing, and you're very good at like, this is the thing? Cool. Let me learn everything about it so I can master this thing.
I know. I have all these skills and everyone's like, I don't think we need it. And you're like, are you sure? And everyone's like, not from you. And you're like, okay. I was currently trying some ways of getting rich, and none of it's worked out, but I shall proceed. Yeah.
It hasn't worked out yet.
It hasn't worked out yet. No one has bought my clothes. No one's bought some furniture. And so now I'm stuck with furniture and clothes I don't want. But it will change. It will change. Well,
it's also fun that you started this out with what do you want to do in 2021? And then Snake King rightfully pointed out, we're like halfway through it, but it doesn't feel like we're fucking halfway through 2021
it
already.
Doesn't at all. I know.
It feels like it's the beginning of the year. This pandemic is extended. We're in overtime.
We're in overtime. I feel like the summer is going to be wild. I mean, you two you're right at the finishing line, it feels like.
Well, you can't say that because that's the way it felt. It feels like from afar, that's the way it would have felt for you guys last summer in Ontario. It felt like it was like, oh, it's clearing up. Everybody's going back to school. But like the numbers have went back up here. Not big, but like they've started to go back up a little bit again. And I guess people are like, yeah, because they're like, all right. Because it does feel like an ending, but like, let's cross that finish line. Let's not just see the ending. Right. They say in marathons, but if people have a heart attack, it's always in that last mile. So like, I'm hoping for a summer of social interaction. I mean, people are just so boned up. I want them to like get the freak on, like totally. People are just gonna just go absolutely nuts, and I'm really excited for that.
So you observing all of this boned up summer behavior sounds like a new erotica book that you can write and get rich.
You know what's crazy is Shayla in the chat, I meant to bring it up. She referenced like a really
Cards Against Humanity card. Yeah.
Cards Against. Yeah. And I wrote for that. The Canadian expansion pack of Cards Against
Humanity. Did you really?
Yeah. And I see hand job from an Edmonton hooker. Yeah. I wrote with a bunch of Canadians on that pack.
Hilarious. Yeah. That's amazing.
Yeah, but we had to write things like an icy hand job from an Edmonton hooker. So like we were just like, ooh, it doesn't feel great. But that was a random gig in LA, so that just brought me back. But
Oh, that's great.
Adam, oh, I would love to write some erotica. Would people love to buy that for me? That would be great.
Post-pandemic Toronto erotica.
Erotica.
Erotica, there you go.
Will you please write the foreword?
Yeah.
Oh, yes. When Stacey first approached me with this idea, drinking a Laker and talking about hand jobs and Christy Pitts, I knew.
A Laker. Oh, God. Oh, God.
Do you know that Laker's the first beer I got drunk on?
Oof.
That I know.
How did that feel the next day?
There was full mushrooms on my sleeping bag that I had puked up, is what I should have mentioned.
Oh.
Like, I guess I didn't even chew. I was just like so drunk and like, oh, shove this pizza in my mouth.
That's disgusting. Okay, so as we leave, as you are a man of like style and elegance, what are we, for people needing soft days, the weekend is around us. Like, what is the cocktail you're enjoying right now? What is the snack you're enjoying right now?
Okay, so there is a big connection between your gut and your mental health.
100%.
So I know I'm way behind. Like, this is not new. I'm not claiming it's new, but I'm very into vodka and kombucha.
People are loving this.
Like I didn't even know. Danny got me into kombucha. I had no idea.
Yeah.
And as soon as I put it into my body, I could feel my body being like, it's like when you water plants, like everything just felt like, yes. And I hadn't drank it ever. And so that for me is like a mix of like having a nice little vodka in your body, but also the healthy gut bacteria of a kombucha. That's what I'm into. And it's like, it just feels like your body thanks you.
Have you tried the Health Aid brand? I used to get mine at Trader Joe's. Okay, well, treat yourself.
There's lots of ones. There's lots of
afterwards
premixed
is
at
beautiful.
Ralph's. If you go to Ralph's, there's a whole section of kombucha vodka stuff.
I'm talking about just kombucha.
I know.
Health Aid from Trader Joe's. I think it's everywhere, but it's very good.
I'm in.
It's really yummy. And so what is the snack?
I don't have great snacks right now, but the American snack that makes me feel really warm and fuzzy, for some reason, is Chex Mix.
That's what you're feeling right now, because you're a man of cereals, and now you're in the States where there's no cereals available. I thought that might have made the list.
Well, I'm trying to not have as much cereal, but the cereal options here are absolutely bonkers.
Yeah.
Like the Lucky Charms, right?
Sure.
It's like Lucky Charms. We all know it's like the marshmallows and the healthy bits. But in the States, they've made the healthy bits chocolate. Like they take the Captain Crunch with Crunch Berries. They have the Oops, just all berries. Like we fucked up. It's just all the berries.
Yeah.
Those are the options.
I love Crunch Berries. That's one of my tops.
It was like growing up watching.
I get it. I'm sure like if I would have been in that marketing room, because I remember being a kid eating jujubes and you're like, oh, I only like the red ones. Imagine they just sold red ones. I'd buy it.
It's like Starburst with just the pink ones. Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Rob's may be suggesting you try making your own kombucha. It's so rewarding and you save a ton of money. Now, I just don't want the SCOBY. Is that what it's called? I just don't want that.
Is that the big alien booger?
Yeah.
Like the mother?
Casual Friday made his own kombucha, and he got a SCOBY from a friend and made his own. But it sounds so intense that I think I'd rather just pay the $5 for the bottle.
I like the idea. It's just a little much. Like it just feels like a lot.
Yeah.
That was just tiny cookies. Yeah.
Yeah, Cookie Crisp.
Yeah. It's unreal. But I will say the Trader Joe's chocolate chips, those are dangerous. Have you seen the big tub? And they're just like flat and they're like chocolate chips and you can just eat them like chips, which is my favorite type of snacking. You know? Yeah. That's really yummy. Oh. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to ask, what is have you found a pandemic comfort food or comfort snack or thing?
Look at this face. I mean, of course she has. Okay, so there's so many.
It was a
snacks.
McFlurry last night.
McFlurry. Well, I was watching Prom, but that's very rare. But what have I been really loving? I'm really getting into making my own granola almost every week, and so I'm having that for breakfast with some fresh fruits and veg, like with eggs on the side. So I'm doing that, which I'm really really loving. What's like a really good snack? Oh my God, Jay, Miss Vicky's spicy dill pickle chips.
Yeah.
They ruined my tongue, so I need a break, but have you had them?
I haven't had them, but I can, when you're like, I've had enough similar flavors that if I put it together in my brain, I'm like, that sounds good.
Trader Joe's had a spicy dill pickle chip that was truly next level. Like it was out of control. I can't.
I'm going to Trader Joe's today, man. Trader Joe's has like 100 different snacks that are like, yes.
Well, apparently the almond butter almonds are next level at Trader Joe's.
Almond butter almonds.
So they put the almond in, surround it with almond butter, and apparently they're next level. So yeah. So I've been asking Jason to send me a care package from Trader Joe's essentially. So I'm just like collecting my list of what I need.
You got to collect a list because she hasn't given me the list yet, but she also wouldn't trust me. And properly so, with coming up with the list myself.
Yeah. Adam, would you trust Jason to go to Trader Joe's and pick your snacks?
But Jason, you have a reputation of when you're at a restaurant, you're like, what's the weirdest thing? Give me that. No one else wants that. We want the good things.
Complains the whole meal that his isn't good.
No.
Like little Charlie Brown in the corner. And we're like, yeah.
I can say it's not good, but there is the times that it's also like, yeah, I won this ball game and now I love it. So then I'll get it all the time. I love it.
Yeah, you'd want Jason to have a few items that you have given him, and then allow him some wild cards.
I think it would be a waste of shipping to give Jason any wild cards, and I think you're just being a kind friend. And
I think to be honest, I would do amazing for both of you.
No,
I think that I would do great because I wouldn't pick the stuff that I would do for me. I'd be like, I know what the fuck these people want.
Okay, so what would you pick for Adam?
Well, I would have to be there because I have to go. Oh, but like with Adam, and we've already talked about it a bit. I am going to find a fun cereal, that's for sure. Like whether he likes it or not, you're going to find a fun cereal. But Adam likes to balance health with his treats. So like the way you just talked about, you're going to go drinking, it's going to be kombucha. So I will go down and I will find things that are. I'd be like, there's a healthy aspect to it. And then I would find one thing that has zero healthy aspect to it at all, like a jujube, but it'd be some sort of fun jujube for him.
See, I'm gonna go trash bag chocolate for Adam because I think deep down inside when he's got a cheat day, he wants to go dirt bag chocolate because I feel like I see him and I know him. Okay, so like a la an O. Henry, maybe a Snickers. Like we want to crush something. It's late at night and Stacey had this care package and it's my cheat day, whatever. I'm gonna give some snack options. Maybe we go like a hummus chip. Oh, isn't that fun? She's different. And then we're gonna go also classic, like maybe nasty snack, nasty chip again for a cheat day. Then we're going to go something health interesting like an almond butter almond because we like decadence and we like nice things. And we like it maybe beside, maybe in a little cute bowl with a cocktail. And that's just a fun story.
Yeah. Okay? See, Stacey,
that sounds very similar. But what I was going to say is like.
No, it doesn't sound similar at all. Adam, please.
Well, I was going to say there's what's great about that care package, Stacey, is that it's not just difference in flavors and satiation of like heavy fat with like heavy sugar, but it's also different moods.
Because I'm only choosing based on moods because that's how people eat. That's how
because
people
like
eat.
If you come home late, you want something different than if you're after lunch, you're like, I need a sweet. It's different moods, Yeah.
Come home late, dirtbag chocolate. It's the afternoon and we've been a good boy. Maybe an almond butter almond. Jason, if I were to pack for Jason, it would be a vial box. Like I would just go to the staff and go, what's something that doesn't sell? And I'd be like, do. Yeah, exactly. Snaking. French onion dipped scoops by Fritos, scoop chips sprinkled with a few mini M&Ms. Ooh, Fritos with M&Ms might be good. I think it would be different. It would be like Reese's peanut butter cup, like jalapeno spice. And you're just like,
yeah, it's like something really like popular but infused with something that no one has asked for.
Exactly.
I think that's Jason's palate, right?
Peanut
It's like
butter
pizza.
Colgate toothpaste. Pizza, but on the floor and used to clean the floor. You're like, oh yeah, he'll want to sample that.
But that's isn't that what you like, Jay? Like you like kind of just having a little change to the average thing.
Yeah.
No, when you said like I love when they add a spice to something in different ways. Like if there's a habanero version of it, then it's like, yeah, man, I want a bit of a spice to it. That's for sure. But like in reality, the reason why I said it was the same is like, yes, I was like, great, a healthy thing, whatever. But I thought we were talking about specifically Trader Joe's. And that's why I was like, I got to go to Trader Joe's because I'm like, there is so many classic things there. So like when you say, I know Henry for Adam or something, it's like, no, I want to find him stuff that he can only get in the States. Like that's a Trader Joe's because it's a Trader Joe care package. So it's like,
no, I know, but I'm saying
for me,
in the vein of.
Yes. So for me, it's like if it was for myself, there would be just very specific things. And there may be one or two things that are like, oh, that sounds crazy because it's got habanero in your fucking thing. And I'd be like, yeah, but I'll do that. But like, I don't know. Yeah, maybe I like weird things. They have these olives there that are fucking amazing. The best olives I've ever had in my life.
Why
and I'd be
are
like,
they
great.
good?
You know why they're good? I'll tell you why. They're huge and they're meaty. So it's like, you know how you eat an olive? Sometimes you're just like, well, great. It's just a small little tooth. No, this is a huge soft ball of olive. And I'm like, yeah, it's like,
what's it stuffed with?
Nothing. It's even got the pit. Like it's a full olive.
Oh God. Those are hard. Those are hard when you find the pit. Great for martinis though. So what I would give to go to a cocktail bar and get a martini, like that is what I'm looking forward to. Just like in a nice outfit. Oh my God.
That's where it falls in Casual Fridays. Brought this up before. I'm like, yeah, I'll have that martini. Can I have 17 olives in that martini? Yeah, 100%. Great. Thanks.
Just a bowl beside. Well, friends, we've really done it. And Adam, you need to come on more. We just adore you so much. And I wanted everyone to, I want you to tell everyone where they can follow you. And I'm going to put your banner up so people can do it.
Yeah, Twitter at Adam Cawley, Instagram at the Adam Cawley. Not on there a ton, but when I do,
a little social break.
A little bit. I feel like taking a break from social media a little bit has been quite good for me. Yeah. So I'll be back, I'm sure. But I think right now it's been nice to just kind of pop on when I like, celebrate someone or do something, and then back away. Just for me.
I think I'm at that point currently where I'm like, I just need a little break.
Yeah, it'll be there. No one's going anywhere. You know, and you can connect with the people that you care about in other ways. And it just feels a little overwhelming, especially when someone's doing something that you're like, that looks great. Because you post when you're proud and you look when you're sad or bored. That is such the thing to remind yourself of. Yes, you post when you're proud and you look when you're sad and bored. Yeah. Yeah. And it can change your whole day. That happened to me this morning. And it was like people are doing amazing things. And it's like, I'm super happy for them. And it really isn't like that, but you're just like, oh, fuck. You know, it's like,
all it takes is one post and you go, oh man, now my headspace is spiraling for the next fucking 3 hours.
Exactly.
And it's not their issue. I totally understand that it's mine. It's just like, I don't need that on top of everything else today.
100%. I totally get that. And are you still
Although with that said, PDUSA put out another video. It's fucking killer.
Yeah, PDUSA is pretty great. And what is going on with the backline? Because you're still doing episodes and you are right?
We're not releasing new episodes right now because that's a podcast about live performance and not a lot happening. So we'll be back hopefully with people being back in live theaters.
But you're also teaching. Maybe that's where I got confused because I just saw a post where you're teaching
a workshop. Yes. Yeah, this has been actually the best part is like now we're teaching because we can't travel, obviously. I got people in classes from all over the world. And it's awesome. It's incredible to just meet people from like Lithuania and see what they're up to. So that's cool.
Yeah. And you're an amazing instructor. I will say, like, if you haven't been able to watch Adam, which I mean, no one has performed in forever, but you are truly one of like the most wonderful like hilarious dark performer.
Oh, that's nice.
It's just when you go absolute psycho, it's my most favorite. I just watch with my mouth open being like, this fucking guy. When you just are so happy and it's like your leg fell off and you're like, amazing.
I don't think I've ever heard that, but I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Really?
That's what to say. Yeah, I've never heard someone call Adam dark in his improv.
Yeah,
like,
never.
Sinister. No, because Adam plays this like oh my God. Well, I would say for our show your show Party Hard was just like you would just play these manically positive characters that that were refusing to look at reality, and so I was just like, this is psychotic behavior.
That's a different lens. Stacey's watching it through a different lens, but the correct lens. Yeah.
I think it's the correct lens, but
I think so too. It's just I don't think anyone has ever phrased it that way. So I'm in. I like it.
Listen, I'll write the foreword. It goes both ways here. Well, everyone follow Adam Cawley. Adam, you're an absolute treat. Please come back often and tons. We adore you so much. And we will be back on Friday for Casual Friday.
Hell yeah,
which will
party
be
time.
really exciting. And then after that, we are taking a 2-week break while Jason moves his whole family, which is really exciting. So come party with us on Friday with Mr. Casual Friday, and we will see you all then.
I also want to point out there's still we'll still be doing the event on the 30th for our Patreon people, even though we're on a 2-week break.
We're doing a comedy show on the 30th, so that is still happening. But as far as like regular shows, we will be taking a 2-week break.
Yeah, party time.
The best. See you all on Friday. Bye.
Bye.